Hello, everybody, and thanks for joining us for another Team Visiting for Times live stream. On today's episode, I have Nick and Dan with me to discuss the first round of spoilers coming out of Panini. So if you guys would like to say hello.
Hey. Glad to know that if you're not watching,
Kid could.
so talking about some spoilers.
Yeah, well, that's the plan. Just going to double check to see if you guys can be heard. It's having a couple of technical difficulties. Just give me one moment. Settings just to double match. So if the stream would bear with me for one moment, I will see if I can get them back. 1 second.
All right, can you hear us?
Howdy.
Yeah, you guys should be coming through loud and clear right now.
Are we audible through the stream?
The stream.
If anyone's
Gonna-
watching, they could leave a little chat message to let us know. That'd be
I'm
fantastic.
gonna warp the views for like 2 seconds just to see if I can hear anything.
Well, you're coming up on the software, so I'm assuming you are perfectly fine.
All right.
But
Yeah, I can hear us on the stream. We're a bit time delayed, but that's all good.
oh, Trent's
Okay.
here. He's saying Trent said yes. There
Hi, Trent.
we
Hey,
go.
how's it going, Trent?
He's
You're
about.
my favorite male top judge in Australia.
Oh, bit rough.
You're one of my favourite judges in Australia.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about the spoilers from earlier today on Panini Dragon Ball Z America blog page, talking about Blue Resolute Mastery, Orange Retribution Mastery, the new Goku stack, and the new Vegeta stack, as well as the new Ultra Rare Assisted Kamehameha.
Yep, but before we get stuck into the spoilers, I think it's probably pertinent to look at the Frozen list, which Panini's now come up with, and go through that and see what the intention is there and how it impacts us as players. Now,
Righto.
at first
Sounds
glance, at first glance, the Frozen list seems to have caused a fair amount of division
Whoa,
amongst the player base.
Well, we haven't said what the Frozen list actually is for anyone who wasn't aware.
This is true.
The Frozen list is
effective from the 1st of November this year. And on this list, we currently have Black Devious Mastery, Blue Protective Mastery, Namekian Knowledge Mastery, Orange Adaptive Mastery, Red Enraged Mastery, Saiyan Empowered Mastery. And what that ostensibly means is, if a card's on this list, it's temporarily unable to be used in organized play events.
So anyone who's gotten far too attached to Black Devious Mastery like I have is gonna have to get good at something else.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised by this list, but Panini's saying that a card has to be in the game for 2 years from its release to be eligible to join this list, which I'm not sure is entirely a list that they want to join. And that if it is reprinted as a newer release, so take Black Power Up, for example, if it was to ever make this list. If it was on this list already, it would be ineligible because it got reprinted in set 4 in Evolution.
Yes. So ostensibly what this list should do from a gameplay point of view is diversify the game, get people away from the old set 1 decks, which I think in some ways is fair. It has been far too long where a black player pretty much played the same deck with maybe 10 cards different between them every time.
Yeah, that's true. Black Krillin lists were pretty much identical. There was there was the difference of whether or not you're playing Angry Krillin or the vanilla Black Krillin, as it were. And so, like, you had a couple of variations there, and some of them had Dragon Balls, but basically, you could work out what a Black Krillin list was going to be ahead of time. There was not much variation there.
And anyone who's played any other card games would be fairly used to a
banned and restricted list.
ban list. Yeah, as an ex-Yu-Gi-Oh player, I know all too well what a ban list is like. Pokemon players have your rotation, so does Magic. So now it's our turn, I suppose.
I think it was only a matter of time, and like it's caused a bit of division amongst the player base, as I said. Some people think that it's going to breathe fresh life into the game, and some are suggesting that it's perhaps a dangerous precedent. But I think only time will tell who is right on this. Metal Boy Base, which I've got a fair idea is that Reese or is that Chris? Might not be either, but they're saying, why should I be forced out of a deck I want to play, though? You guys have any thoughts on that?
Well, I have a few thoughts on the whole Frozen idea anyway, but we haven't heard from Dan this whole time, so...
We have. We've heard someone making dinner in the background.
Dan, what you got going on? Tell us about your thoughts on the Frozen list.
Well, it's received a bit of a frosty reception.
And now Dan's banned from talking again for that pun. It's Chris.
All of these people who have gotten up in arms, they really need to let it go, I think.
No, I'm gonna have to ban you both.
Go, let it go.
That is horrible.
I think the Frozen list is fantastic. Fantastic.
Do you have a reason why, or are you just going to be the dissenter?
No, I just think diversity is great for the game. I'm sick of rocking up tournaments and seeing the same 2 to 3 masteries with the same MP combinations.
But have we?
It just gets a bit stale.
Nick has a bad echo. Nick may need to move his microphone or just tweak his settings.
It just gets a bit stale versing the same combinations every week in, week out.
Yeah, look, I hear you. I have to wonder though, have we really been seeing the same combinations? Like, ever since Vengeance came into the fold, I think and even to a point with Perfection, the metagame was at a fairly vibrant state. You had quite a lot of quite a lot of MP stacks floating around, each using their various masteries that went with them. Do you think that maybe we weren't seeing enough diversity? Is that what you're trying? Is that what you think? Because I would argue that we were seeing quite a bit.
And I would argue that taking 6 masteries out of a potential 18 mastery card pool is making it less diverse than more diverse. I think what you're saying, Dan, is that you want the game to be less complacent than it is.
Yeah, I agree with that. Also, we were seeing more diversity, but we were seeing less creativity.
There we go.
That's a fairly fair argument, I think.
The card gamer in me, the brighter, less cynical part of me, agrees with Dan. However, the more cynical part of me thinks that this was not a move made for the sake of the game, but rather because we have new product coming out and we want to be forced into it.
But here's the thing, Nick. People are always going to buy the product anyway.
This is true.
Even if you factor in the singles market, someone still has to buy that initial product to put those singles into circulation.
True, but what I mean is, we saw with Set 4's mastery, very few of them were actually used over the Set 1 masteries. I can say that the only restored Namekians I've ever seen were Cell, and that's because
what about
gave
Gohan?
Him the tools. I never saw Gohan.
But Gohan, restored Gohan has been... Yeah.
He has popped up in the last few weeks, correct, but that's the MP more than the mastery. Orange Adept has never seen play over Orange Adaptive unless you're a very fringe deck. Rampaging also, although that seems to be making a fair resurgence again due to the MP that can use it. The only set for masteries that I've seen regularly have been Ruthless and Tag. And even Tag has a lot of flaws. It's just that it opens up a different playstyle altogether than what Protective offers.
Trent's just said, if you look at the gameplay from a design point of view, it's hard to marry effects from new cards with cards that have older wording. Read Hero Vegeta, plus a lot of others that are thought of as poor. I agree with you, Trent. It's many games suffer from the we're not sure what we're going to be doing in the future. I think Magic probably circumvents that issue by having what they call the Future League and the Future League, where they're already playing games of Standard and Modern 2, 3, if not 4 sets in advance. But yeah, probably something. The wording on a lot of Panini's been accused of many things, and the wording and language they use on a lot of their cards is often one of those things.
That said, I am very interested to see what the new masteries are, and I am very excited for the fact that Worlds is going to be played 2 weeks after the release of this game, with no one able to fall back on the set 1 masteries.
Another point that they brought out with the Frozen list is their reprint policy. They've said that they're taking the Frozen list into account, and that Awakening starter decks contain very specific and deliberate reprints. What are your thoughts on that?
On the which one? Sorry.
On their reprints, because they're saying because of the Frozen list, they're now forced to think about what they're reprinting in future sets.
I mean, I like it. It indicates that they are planning far ahead, which is always good. I like to see planning. In fact, anytime that I see evidence of planning in this game just makes me happy.
Being playing a personality who enjoys the planning step. You play
yes, but I was referring more to the fact that Bulma is listed on Dr. Brief's ally and etc.
Yeah. I think. Do you think we'll see Timer's Warrior's Tool and things like that being reprinted in starter decks?
Definitely.
Yeah, some of these cards are just far too stapley to rotate out of the game. Although, as we've said before, this isn't a rotation. This is a list. It's a banned list more than a rotation. So Time may never be reprinted because it may never be placed onto this list.
Yeah. Reese, a member of the team, had a very interesting thought. He suggested that the Frozen list is not so much a ban list, but a way to sort of curtail power creep, in that they don't have to print silver bullets or overly powerful cards to counter other cards on the Frozen list. They can just put it on the Frozen list, wait till the metagame or the sets have reached a point in time where they the problem sorts itself out naturally, rather than printing more powerful cards just to, stop one particular interaction or one particular card. Do you think there's any credence to that?
Wall breakers. No, I think that sounds like a really good theory.
And a good idea.
I'm not on Panini's dev team, so I can't say whether I agree or disagree that it was the purpose.
Yeah, it's
a good idea though.
Yeah, I think I don't think it's a terrible idea. You have a problem card, you chuck it on the Frozen list and wait and see how things settle out. Chris is saying reprint Black Command. Yeah, well.
No, we'll be getting Blue Command in this set to go with the Blue Resolute Mastery.
Trent's saying maybe not starters. Panini won't devalue too many cards. I believe that's probably in relation to Time. I mean, but here's the thing: Panini, they don't have to worry about the secondary market, as I said, because the cards will hold their value because someone still has to pay for X amount of packs to open up X amount of cards. It's the same thing like Wizards of the Coast. They couldn't give two flying fucks about the secondary market when it comes to Magic because people are still buying their product. They've said they're not going to reprint certain cards because of collector value, but that's a decision they made. I think more to appease the people who still had the Lotuses and that sort of stuff.
Why would Panini need to worry about devouring cards, Trent?
As Chris has already beat you to the question.
What
But-
do you know?
Share your secrets, Trent.
What
Well-
secrets do you have for us?
We'll get him on stream and we'll get some jumper leads and a car battery. And
Actually, at some point in the future, it would be nice to have Trent as a speaker on one of our streams.
Yeah, he
That'd be
can
great.
vent because only 4 people are watching at the moment, so no one will hear it.
Send us a message.
Now, yeah, part of me thinks that this Frozen list is a bit of like it worries me slightly. As Chris said, why should we be forced out of playing a deck that we want to play? But I mean, like at the same time, bannings have occurred in other games to stop certain cards or certain decks from warping the format. Magic's a prime example. I keep coming back to Magic because it's been around for 20 odd years. It's probably the preeminent card game at the moment.
It knows what it's doing.
Yeah, they effectively banned Coreblade, one of the most meta-defining decks that was at the time. It was warping tournaments. Tournament attendance was down during the period in which it was able to be played. But they banned specific cards and they banned certain cards from interacting with one another because it was warping the format and people weren't rocking up. So, I mean, the idea that it's going to make the metagame fresh, I can see. Because as you said, like one only has to look back to set 1, 2, and 3 and to see how like oppressive one might say Krillin was and Piccolo and Ginyu. So
speaking of Krillin and Piccolo, these are decks that were highly reliant on that specific mastery. Krillin with Defius and Piccolo with knowledge. I can think of a few other decks right now that are very dependent on the mastery rather than anything else that they can do. Do you guys want to chip in here?
In which way? Like decks that do rely on the mastery?
So, like, I feel Android 20, Orange Android 20 is completely dependent on that adaptive mastery in its current incarnation.
Yeah, unless
And
we get that.
I mean current incarnation because things change.
Now, yeah, like last stream, Coreblade was fine. Chris, I agree. But like last stream, we discussed the potential for a freestyle drill, which its only effect was to protect other drills from leaving play when you level. I mean, if Android 20 got something like that, then it really doesn't change all that much. One could argue that it gets slightly stronger with the new mastery, but
And as we said earlier, with adaptive mastery rotating out, I feel like that's more suggestion that something like that is coming.
Trent said there aren't hundreds of thousands of players like Magic. If you devalue cards that a lot of player has chased, that isn't good for the community engagement point of view. No, I agree with that statement. I agree with what you're saying there. And yeah, there's not so much you can say on that. Like I will be honest. We've discussed it in the past on stream and off stream. The idea that it would appear that Panini's reprinting certain cards as Dragon Rares in this set, and the idea has been floated that it's a possible reprint of Sphere. I purchased most of my Spheres, but at the same time, it wouldn't I don't think I'd be too unhappy if they reprinted them and got more out in the circulation. So
we also discussed either last stream or just after we finished our last stream, how our Spheres that we have paid for have essentially helped us to pay for themselves.
Yeah, more or less with tournament winnings and etc. So
because they're good cards.
Is there any card that you'd like to see enter the Frozen list? And do you have any reason why?
So
and if anyone says Black Command, you're already an idiot because Black Devious Mastery has been frozen.
There's just one more thing I wanted to say about freezing cards.
Yeah, go on.
I think it's like a practical concern for Panini because they're not printing set 1 anymore. It'll be harder for new players to get a hold of the old masteries.
But is it though? I mean, masteries were in the starters and were a rare slot in the boosters. I can't tell you how many multiple copies of the masteries I have.
Just saying, like, they can't get a new copy of the masteries from Panini themselves.
Sure.
I say yes and also no to that, Dan, because we have seen on today's announcement that Mastery OG Mastery reprints will be coming, quote, sooner rather than later.
Some Premier set Mastery cards will return sooner rather than later.
Yes.
Which
that just reinforces what I was saying, because they're going to reprint it for easy access.
yeah, and they'll make a quick buck off that too, I guess.
What do you guys? I've seen this floating around a few places, mostly on top tier. People saying that the whole idea of the Frozen list was because they wanted to freeze Black Devious Mastery, but didn't want to be unfair to Black. What do you guys think of that statement? Because I think it is the most bollocksy statement I've ever heard.
Kind of makes sense to me, to be honest, though.
I can understand the statement itself. Like, I understand the words that are in it. As far as being unfair to Black, well, yeah, I don't know. I've not been known as a Black player per se.
I can see it being the last card that gets unfrozen.
Oh yeah, easily.
Does freezing? Okay, so to go on to that, does freezing Devious Mastery, like, people have been clamoring for a command nerf? Does freezing Black Mastery effectively nerf command without actually having to change the card?
Yes.
Exactly. Like, how many other ways do you have to discard from hand Black command during combat? Like,
play Coolers level 2.
Yeah. Sure. But it's not as simple as playing Krillin and going Krillin's power, Black Mastery for a shit ton of effects, and oh, by the way, I discarded command, I gained some anger.
Oh dear.
Or being Master Roshi, I'm in combat, I'll put this specific setup in play. Oh hell, I've got 2 commands. That gains me 2 anger. I've put a power up in play. I've got 2 commands in hand. Well, I'll just end combat. That's all.
Roshi's gonna have to find himself a new foothold in the new meta, because both of his top tier decks are Red Enraged and Black Devious, which will be rotated out.
Tread saying your previous line of thinking on the stream is more likely the closer to the actual reasoning behind reprint policy.
What previous line was that?
Yeah, I've completely forgotten what I said about 10 minutes ago. Trent, refresh our memories, because mine's horrible. I've worked for 7 hours today, and it was just like, no, I'm done.
Can we, when we finalize this and upload it to our team page, we should have the description mention just how fantastic it was to have Trent guest star without actually guest starring?
Yeah.
This way we don't have to pay him.
Trent always stars.
I think if someone was, what do you boys want to reach out to him on Facebook and see if he wants to get on the chat server? We could certainly have him talking if he wants to. It's entirely up to you guys. But back to the question: is there any card you'd like to see on the Frozen list?
So you asked me this earlier today, and I struggle to think of any, because any cards that I think I would like to see frozen, I only want to see them frozen because they are cards that work against me. Like,
yeah, I think the key here is that if people are going to think about an extra card to go on the Frozen list, they have to be purely objective about it.
Yeah, I can't think of any cards right now that exist that I would say are detrimental to the game as a whole and need to be phased out of the game.
Yeah,
I'm sure people would think that Black Command needs to go on there, but as we've said, I feel like Devious is a big part of Command's strength. Without Devious, Command loses a lot. And I've always thought that people who thought Command needed to go were just not approaching it in the right way anyway.
Well, Trent's just said accessibility of cards to new players as far as the reprint policy is concerned.
High five, Trent.
I need to take notes while we're talking on top of the notes I already have before we start. This is it's getting more work than I actually thought it would be in the first place. We need more subscribers so we can monetize and make some money off this.
So we can pay Trent.
Yeah. Start a Patreon. I asked Chris can't join us tonight because he's a baker by trade, which necessitates ungodly starts. But I asked him this question earlier, and this is his response. I don't really know. There isn't anything I see being unfair from set 1, which, correct me if I'm wrong, someone, is the only set that can be frozen at this point. I want to say Black Command because of the passive nature of the card, but I don't really have any issue with it. It's easy to shut down, and given that the Devious Mastery is being frozen out, it makes it harder to utilize the discard text of Black Command anyway. He then went on to mention Energy Web and Defensive Burst, not realizing that they'd been reprinted, so they're ineligible for the frozen list anyway. But I'll read it out. It's maybe Black Energy Web and Defensive Burst, but again, I'm of the opinion that if you're one of the aggro decks that are trying to draw a million attacks and you get hit with one of these, that's the risk you take. Black Power Up, again, already reprinted, but I'll read this out anyway. Black Power Up, maybe. Roshi can make it sort of oppressive. I feel though the game has reached a point where it's actually more balanced than people are whining about, so to me, the frozen list irritates me somewhat. I don't really see any cards that are a problem. Essentially, all it has done is take away a deck choice or two that I enjoy playing. Any thoughts on what Chris had to say?
Aside from the fact that he seems to be very anti-black and doesn't know...
Hey, anti-black style, not anti-black. Like, there's a difference between walking into a DBZ tournament and going, fuck black players, and looking up and see that you're playing against a guy who's black. That would probably get you some sort of hate crime.
You know what, Nathan? No one had a problem with it till you brought it up. Now everyone's like an ass.
But yeah, I don't see, and I don't disagree with most of what he's saying.
We can put spheres on the frozen list. Make it like the golden days of locals in set 1 and 2, where nothing went unsphered.
Who's that going to benefit more?
People with no money.
Well, I mean, but this is a thing. Like, I've made the choice to invest. I don't know how much it was. It's probably like $600 because I remember opening 2 of my spheres. About $600 on pieces of cardboard. So, you know.
So you need to be punished. Put the spheres on the list.
Punishment.
But I've chosen to invest in the game. I've chosen to invest in the game. So, like, why should I be punished for that initial, like, you want to play at a good level, then yeah, unfortunately, some of the rarer cards are the cards you need, and they cost a bit of money. Like, why should you punish someone who's gone, I'm willing to support the game, I'm willing to like invest in it? Why should they be punished? As I said, if they reprint spheres at Dragon Rare in this set, which there's a bit of speculation they might, it doesn't worry me, and it shouldn't worry you either, Nick, because again, as we discussed on the previous stream, they've already paid themselves off in tournament winnings.
Spheres have been reprinted as set 3 promos. Even if it was world promos, they've been reprinted. They're safe.
Yeah, this is true too.
This is what I was saying.
What I said was clearly his joke anyway. So.
Yeah, I know.
What I was saying earlier was that I feel like Panini maybe forgot that they reprinted Namekian Knowledge Mastery as a set 4 promo.
I think they did.
Well, yeah, it was the most recent. Like, this is a thing too. One of the things I've had a private thought about this frozen list, the Namekian Knowledge Mastery promo, which was inside random set
4 packs.
Set 4 packs randomly. It wasn't supposed to be there, was it?
No.
Exactly right. So, but all it is it's a most recent printing.
It's still a reprint though.
Yeah, but it's an update of the wording on the card. It's an errata printing. It's like Black Corruption. But like that's a poor example. It wasn't supposed to be released properly. Is what I'm getting at. So like, would they just say, well, for the Namekian Knowledge Mastery, the promo, sorry, but it's still frozen.
I don't know, because then you'd have to apply that same logic to everything that is just a most recent printing reprint.
No, but Corruption was printed specifically and was supposed to be specifically in that set. The Namekian Knowledge Mastery is a promo which, outside of the random supposed accident, has never been released. as far as I'm aware. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong on that, someone let me know. Just going back through the chat, we've got Tanfuski saying, can't say that in a Christian manga. Well, we're not a Christian manga, so fuck it. Chris is saying black is the best style in the game. Yeah, probably. Tanfuski, well, not really, unless you bought directly from Panini, I believe is in response to my talk about the spheres. Chris is saying Panini didn't make you pay $150 for a sphere. No, they didn't. The secondary market did, and Panini's sort of responsible for that, for their pool rates on the sphere, but that's an entirely different topic. Kablamo Production, reprints don't count apparently, a la Namekian Knowledge reprint. And then he says, yeah, but if they reprint the other masteries like they say they're considering, then they would be a most recent printing too. This is true, Kablamo, but I feel the most recent printing clause was on the card. And I was making air quotes, and I realized that I have a webcam, which is probably something we need to look into. But I feel like the most recent printing clause is for times that they go, we fucked up. This card is not how we intended it to be. We fucked up. We're changing the card text. It's for an errata. So you can play the old mastery, that's fine, but there is an errata, it's in the CRD, but here's a mastery that has, or a card that has, that's the most recent printing, and it's the one you have to play. Like Smoothness Drill will, if they continue to have the limit 1 per deck, and Smoothness Drill's a promo, is it not, for something?
I haven't seen a Smoothness Drill promo.
I thought,
do exist.
yeah. David Spencer. Well, now I don't know who you were, David. But yeah, the most recent printing in my mind is simply we made an errata for this. We've printed the card, so the errata is now, because you have a new player who comes up with, and you've had this happen before, you guys. Someone's playing Namekian Knowledge down in front of you. They don't have the promo Namekian Knowledge. They don't know the errata because they haven't looked up on the CRD. That's what I feel. That's what the most recent printing is there for. It's just to draw attention to, hey, this card has been changed.
Okay, Smoothness Drill is confirmed as a Set 6 Vengeance promo. However, this list that I have here does not tell me when/where.
Yeah. Chris apparently agrees with me. I think you hit it on the head. The promo NAM Mastery was never released. Yeah. Like, the accidental, quote-unquote, accidental release of Namekian Knowledge Mastery, I don't think it's supposed to be counted as a reprint. And again, if it was, then why is Namekian Knowledge Mastery on this frozen list, if they've said that it has to be 2 years after its initial release date?
Because I like the idea that Panini forgot, okay? Just leave me alone. Stop picking on me.
A couple more chat messages. We've got Tanfuski saying once it is, then that'll stand. I reckon. Trent saying Smoothness Drill promo is mentioned in the CRD, which again will probably have the most recent printing text on it. David Spencer says, I don't think they're going to ban spheres. I do expect a reprint though, maybe Dragon Rares. I 100% agree with you, David. As soon as I saw the press release for Awakening, when everybody else did, because I'm not special, and I saw that they were saying going to re-release, fan favorite cards and things like that, my mind instantly went to, well, Dragon Rare, 1 per box. You got both spheres, and then just ultra rares or other good rares that can take up that slot. Probably Altered Art would be the way I'd go about it, but that's where I'd be putting them. You guys, yeah, I don't see that. as nice as it is to see those in person, like when Fahad was playing in Sydney the other night, they're very nice in person.
The World Spheres.
Yeah, I have to admit,
Man.
I think it was the Villainous one that I wasn't a huge fan of, or the Hero one on the screen.
Those was Newcastle locals playing against Juan.
Yep.
Oh man, that was intimidating.
And
sit down across the guy. You guys go. Oh yeah, he does really well at Dragon Ball. He went to Worlds last year, and then he pulls out the World Spheres. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna lose.
And you won that game, so
somehow.
That
was a very good game.
Also, correct me Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember who it was, but I'm pretty sure they gave one of the villainous energy spheres to someone, or it might have been the hero. They just gave one of them to someone, you know. So two better, nicer people could not have actually represented Australia that year. I don't think. But
Correct.
any other thoughts on the Frozen list? Does the chat have any thoughts on the Frozen list that they want to share with us? Tread's saying spheres have already been reprinted as promos. This is true.
Told you.
Well, yes. It's David saying you'll love the villainous one when Slug bursts onto the scene. They gave David a villainous energy sphere. That's excellent. Slug life, and they gave Harry a hero sphere. Well, there you go.
I get no spheres.
Well, you know, I paid $12 for a sphere.
I paid less. I was actually very happy. I pulled half.
Oh, Chris has joined us.
Yeah, I was watching the stream, chatting, so I was like, I might as well jump on.
Yeah, who needs to get up in time for work anyway? David's saying they got spears because we tested with them for Worlds, and look, that's fantastic. That just it kind of goes to speak of the quality of the players and the people that we have in the community in Australia. Because you could have sold those spears for an absolute fuck ton of money.
As
and,
I said
you know,
about a month ago, Dragon Ball Z has one of the best communities I've ever been a part of.
Yeah. Tenfusky, RIP, Empowered Broly, taken before your time. Meh.
Why have you capitalized "taken" there? Did Liam Neeson do it?
Liam Neeson busts in and punches Broly in the dick.
I don't know who you are.
Broly stole Liam Neeson's daughter. That's what it is.
Oh,
That's
mate.
why we have a Frozen list.
He was pretty ruthless about it.
Oh my god. Anyway, if there's nothing more to be said about the Frozen list, I think we should take a quick 5-minute break. So everybody who's in chat, and ourselves included, can get nice and comfortable, grab a drink, and we can dive right into the Set 7 Awakening spoilers.
Which, oh my god, are we not excited about?
I'm thoroughly excited to talk to these. Alright guys, so you're listening and watching Team Visiting for Time's live stream of the Awakening spoilers. We'll be right back after a quick 5-minute break. So, you know, thanks for watching and hope you stick around. All right, thank you everyone for sticking around. A little bit longer than we planned, I think by a couple of seconds or a minute maybe. But these things happen.
How dare we?
We're awful.
Back from the break, we're going to start looking at the spoilers as promised. And the first cab off the rank, as it were, we have up on screen. We have the Blue Resolute Mastery. If you can't read, I'm going to read it out. And we'll take it from there. So, Blue Resolute Mastery, continuous effect. Your attacks deal +1 life card of damage, and its power is discard a styled card from your hand to draw a card and prevent 4 stages and 4 life cards of damage from your opponent's next attack this combat. Gentlemen, how are we feeling?
Well, as
Fantastic mastery.
as Chris has acknowledged, I'm going to start with one of my negatives, and that's that it's just a lesser devious, really. But it is a fantastic mastery. I like it.
Yeah, I gotta say, I saw this and I was quite surprised. I didn't, I wasn't upset with this mastery.
Yeah. Before I was playing black, I was playing blue. I really like blue. Blue has some very powerful tools in it. The +1 life card is something I like to see on anything.
Sorry to interrupt. Trent says, this mastery makes me happy in the pants.
This mastery makes me happy also, Trent.
I'm as Nick touched on and Chris said, they both said it's a slightly worse Black Devious. But
Well,
my god.
we can't say right yet that it's slightly worse Black Devious.
In a
Blue
vacuum.
has a lot of really good tools.
Yeah. In a vacuum and purely on screen and on paper, this card is phenomenal. But like,
mate, I'm just waiting for my blue command.
Yeah. But like, let's put it this way, right? Black Devious Mastery is a fantastic mastery, yes?
Yes, it is.
If you take away half the damage buff and sort of change the discard, is it still good? And I think the answer is staring us right in the face. I think this mastery is going to win games.
Nathan.
Yes.
Just technical stuff. You need to let Reese into the chat.
Into the chat?
Yeah.
No, he is currently deafened, so he can't hear or speak.
No, he can't get into the live stream chat because it's locked.
Oh, okay. Well, he's in now.
Righto.
Sorry about that, guys. Where are we?
After thinking about it, and again, we discussed this earlier, Chris and I, it's not so much a worse Black Devious as it is a different Black Devious. Whereas Devious will steal an action from the opponent, this one adds an action to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like to welcome Reese onto the chat, if he's all set up now.
Evening, gents.
Sup, Reese? You're on time?
Sorry, guys. I just had to avenge crimes against me.
Oh, yes.
I think the new mastery is another great... I think it'll work good with Blue Cooler.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Too true, Trent. Too true. Blue Fear plus this equals pseudo Blue Command.
Yeah, no, you are not wrong.
That is not wrong.
Blue Fear is a card that, like, who has seen it played?
Me?
I put it in my Blue Cooler deck.
Yeah, but did you play it?
I kind of like it.
Don't get me wrong, I like that card too, but yeah, Blue Resolute Mastery is certainly bringing a lot to the table, and it's doing a lot of things that I like.
Before I say anything else about the card, I want to acknowledge how much I just like the set symbol for this set.
Yeah, I actually had that private thought earlier in the day too.
Better than Goku's lanky head.
Or Cell's stupid face where you can't tell if he's actually scowling or sneering.
David Spencer has the same thought we did, Chris. Black Krillin dies and is reborn as Blue Krillin.
Man, you guys have no idea how fast I'm going to be on Blue Krillin.
We were discussing it before, and like that deck's just insane. Like you got lifting drill, discard that, goes into play. Blue guard for 2 cards. Was it neck beam for 4
Next team for
stages?
I have to say though, the name Blue Resolute Mastery doesn't really fit with what the mastery does, given that Resolute means to resolve to do something, and in this mastery you are throwing away an option to get a new one. You're changing your mind. It's like the opposite of resolving.
You're resolved to punching him in the face. It gives you +1 life card of damage.
That's no, it's not good enough.
I also like going back to some of the artwork. I really like this. I really like this image on the card.
I like it because it's when Sal went to space to punch meteors.
Yeah, he got bored. Stretch, flex his muscles. Is there anything else anyone wants to say on the Blue Mastery? I'm even going to open that up to chat.
I would like to say that the 4 stages and 4 life prevention, I think, is less good than it was maybe intended to be, just with the amount of unpreventable damage that walks around these days. But aside from that, I still like this mastery a lot.
Yeah, no, I think you're kind of on the money there.
I mean, the main action is to draw a card. That's just it's basically to buffer the non-existent action you're taking.
Yeah, but if you're discarding a lifting drill, you weren't taking an action there anyway, were you?
Well, yeah, it's just buffering the action, I guess, in a weird way.
So, anything else from the chat? David Spencer's talking about blue tag team Ginyu with Guldo, Dodoria, Wheelo allies. I think it's tickled Chris's funny bone there.
I too like to live dangerously.
As long as it worked.
Yeah. All right, let's move right on to the next card. What we have is Orange Retribution Mastery.
Moving right along. It's such a good times and good news.
At the start of your opponent's first turn, search your life deck for a styled, non-continuous effect drill and place it into play. Continuous effect. Whenever your MP changes levels, you may shuffle all drills you control into their owner's life deck. Power. The next styled attack you perform this combat has its power stage cost reduced to 0. Raise your anger up 2 levels. If your MP has changed levels this combat, search your life deck for a style drill and place it into play. That's a lot of text.
That is a very tasty mastery if you play it well.
Is it better than adaptive?
I wouldn't want to not be able to read.
Yeah. But you can't read anyway.
I don't think it's doing the same thing as adaptive.
It's a very different deck to what adaptive is.
Yeah, I don't think you can compare them at all.
Yeah. Adaptive is very much, I got a drill, I'm going to slap it down, and that's all I need to do with it. This one,
David Spencer's
a lot more about what you're running.
Yeah. David Spencer says this mastery is really good in my opinion. Yeah, I think you're right too. I discussed this with Chris earlier. Can you just imagine like Orange 20 or something like that? You just go like, I'm going to use my power. I'm going to gain 2 anger. If I level up, I get a drill out of my deck. Oh, and by the way, my next attack is Orange Power Point for, for free for X amount of damage. Like, this, I think this deck is awesome. Like, that first turn, your opponent's playing Broly or another beats deck, and you just go, well, I'll grab my blocking drill.
You can almost run Orange physical beats with this mastery. With your level up effect, you can search for Devouring Drill. Then you play Orange Extension, which searches for a drill and plays it.
Yeah.
So you can go up a level immediately off of Devouring, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting interaction there.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at this mastery now, and I'm thinking that Roshi could actually fit well here.
Yep.
I really like the idea of Roshi in this.
This mastery covers a lot of what I think are Orange's problems, in that it has a hard time actually putting those drills into play if you're not running multiple copies of them.
But it also shuffles all the drills back into your deck, which gives you the problem that Orange also always had is drawing dead.
Trent's just said this gives Orange a more consistent leveling mechanic. Now devouring is less effective in the meta.
Correct.
Yeah, that extra 2 anger.
Yes.
Yeah. And like Orange is no slouch. It's got plenty of anger.
Orange is boss at anger if you can pull out the right cards.
But yeah,
Orange-
Dan is also correct. To go back to Dan for a second. Orange, like if you're playing Orange 20, for example, because everybody thinks of it. You're going to draw into a dead hand at some point.
That just stop you there. Like you're going to draw into a dead hand. That's like arguing that you have lots of drills in your deck. You could by all means only be running 4 drills or something with this mastery.
This is true too.
Yeah.
David,
I think there is. Sorry, Nathan. I think there is a lot of push if you play in Orange that you've got to have a deck packed with drills. This is most certainly not the case.
David has said, where did I see it? Also, no one has mentioned this. Shuffling all your drills back in is a pseudo mass rejuve on level up.
Very correct.
And then he's saying that he says the best shooters for Orange take them from the deck. Trent's saying that's nice, but do you want to be putting more dead cards back in the deck as the game goes on? Orange has always been good at filtering those out. So, I mean,
I guess you have to make the choice of whether to shuffle them back in or not.
I guess is it more of a choice then now that because they're not sticking around, you now have to make a choice on are these drills really crucial?
I will say we have seen not quite a push, but maybe a small trickle of cards that help with the filtering of dead cards in Orange. I think it's Orange Counterblast or Orange something in the most recent set. Discards a card to draw a card, and if it was a drill, it comes right into play. You've got Possession Drill, which is draw 2, discard 2, or discard 1 drill.
Yep.
And Possession Drill, by the way, can be recruited with Orange Retribution's initial ability.
Yes.
While we're here, I just want to say, I don't remember who it was, but someone on our last stream completely called this mastery.
I've got a feeling it was Dan, but Dan doesn't think it was him, so it might have been Millsy.
Maybe. But someone said we should get a tag drill, but for Orange.
Tag team drill. Yeah, tag team
mastery for Orange.
Yeah.
It was
This
totally me.
happens to be way better than tag team mastery.
Correct, because it actually does something.
It does stuff, afterwards, after the fact. Yeah, no, I like it. It's going to take... This is the thing, it goes back to the Frozen list, right? And to a point, the Orange Adaptive Mastery. It's going to take some time to adjust and adapt to how the game plays now with the different masteries. And I think Orange is going to be one of those ones where people are going to experiment a hell of a lot to try and get out the same amount they were trying to do adaptive. But again, as we discussed on the last stream, Nick, this mastery plus adaptive Orange being frozen out sort of make me believe that we're coming to a point where there's going to be a freestyle drill that does nothing else but protecting all your drills from leveling up.
Flavor Judge comments in and says, Orange Retribution, again, it's a name that doesn't make sense with a mastery that seems to have no revengeful or retributional aspects to it. Grrr!
Nick, it's all about the art. Look at Gohan's fate.
I don't think I quite like the art for this mastery either, comparatively speaking.
It might look good foil.
It might look good foil.
I actually really want to see the foil pattern for the set, to be honest.
Oh yeah, I was saying in the store earlier today, people think that I'm most excited for next week for the Mr. Satan reveal, but oh no, it's the foil pattern that I'm most excited for.
Lies.
Yeah, I've seen your hard-on for Satan, and it's not it's bigger than your hard-on for the foil.
I don't know.
It might be a close call.
This set is all going to be about General Tower, boys.
We'll see, Reese. Oh god, Reese, that's the very last week of spoilers.
Could you get any more excited for another person, Reese? Just so you have some like excitement in your life until that point. No.
No,
It's-
who are you? What?
This mastery can also, like, on your opponent's first turn, it can pick up Guardian Drill, which is another combat to drawing into dead hands because you can use it to put other drills into play.
I just want to take 1 second right now, and David Spencer, spot on the frickin' money. I called this many months ago. Cell Junior getting a stack, and I'm so hyped for that. Back onto the Orange Retribution Mastery.
But Cell Junior doesn't even have a beard.
Doesn't deserve its stack.
Oh, you guys are heathens. I need to, like, David,
Guys-
you come join the
guys,
team.
Can we wait for the Cell Junior stack before we talk about how much Cell Junior doesn't deserve to be an MP?
Ah, you guys, I'm feeling it. It's going to be the best fucking main personality ever. But we're not here to talk about Cell Junior today, unfortunately.
Where's my Cyberman stack?
They didn't deserve one.
Do
They
you
were-
think Cyberman would count as a Saiyan personality?
He's a
Yeah.
plant.
Yeah?
It's a
Still in the
Saiyan
Saiyans?
Saiyan house plants.
Oh. That is- what are you doing there, freak? Walking my plants.
Alright, Goku.
Hang on a second. We'll just stop. 1 second. Does chat want to say anything else about the Retribution Mastery? Do you guys have any final thoughts about the Retribution Mastery? Because I know I cut Chris off mid-sentence there. Yep, fair enough. Says everything I need to know.
I'm salty because I don't want to lose adaptive.
Goku,
Yeah.
level 1. Oh, the first of the MPs spoiled today, and my god, before we get through them all, I just want to say I think they've done a great job with these ones. But anyway, we have Goku, who's, his constant power is your attack deal +1 life card of damage. His power is use when entering combat, draw a card. He has a 2 power up rating. He hits E at 10 power above 0 on level 1.
I saw
My
that
god!
on level 1, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing, Goku? Jesus Christ, that's amazing.
My fucking
Oh.
god, how good is this level 1?
As a Super Saiyan.
Before I say any more, I want to acknowledge that Goku is stronger than Vegeta just in power levels the whole way down, and it makes me so happy.
Go drown in a fire. David Spencer, Goku equals ridiculous as fuck. I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. When I saw these two, I was blown away. For one, and I was going to mention this at the end once we have all, once we got to the end of the Goku stack, but I'll say it now as well. I am so pleased that we don't have a gimmicky Goku or a Goku tied to almost like a quote-unquote trick.
Crazy card advantage.
Yeah, this +1 damage on all your life cards is amazing. The entering combat trigger for drawing a card, like fucking VTP plus Goku, when you're being entered against equals 6 card hand. Fuck me.
And like
This
this,
is the fact that his modifier can stack with Blue Resolute Mastery or Black Devious if it ever gets rotated back in. Here's hoping. Dicks out for Black Devious.
What were you going to say, Chris?
I'll let Nick finish.
I was just gushing about stacking modifiers. I'm done now.
This Goku stack, while the art is amazing, I am incredibly pumped for the art on this level 1. But
the art on this
you
the
go.
art on Goku is pretty damn good, but
David says he's... Sorry again. David Spencer says he is tied to a trick.
Ooh.
His trick is killing you. Yep. Fucking A.
This Goku is just a truck. Like, it's cell level 4, but
Well, sort of.
like not quite as good, but like it's still, this is gonna punch people straight in the head, which is exactly what I asked for last week on stream.
that is exactly what you asked for.
Chat has piped up a little bit. Tenfusky, who we need to figure out who you are. I think Goku is better, but I think Vegeta opens up more quirky deck ideas open. We'll talk about Vegeta when he gets back, but yeah, Goku is fantastic now. Trent's saying this is similar to IR Gohan in the old game, which was okay when it was released, but it might not guaranteed action. No, it might not be guaranteed action.
Yeah, like because you can draw dead still.
Yeah, this is true too. And like game is going to game.
Yes.
We're going to play the best cards we can. So,
Well, 59 black commands.
legally going to
let's-
run the best cards we can.
Let's remember that this is a power. It's not a constant. So you could always choose not to draw your extra card when you enter combat.
I have 4 cards left in my deck. I will draw the.
no.
Ah!
So this is one of those instances where both players are going to have to remind each other to draw their extra card going into combat, or they'll get warnings.
But yeah, like
You don't have to, do you?
no, it's when entering combat. It's like visiting the
Yeah.
past. I'm Reese, FYI. Tanfuski, Reese. Do we know a Reese? Reese,
Well,
what's your last
there's
name, dude?
Reese
Or
on chat.
that's what I'm saying.
I know who this is. I think.
Okay. David Spencer is saying, from what we've seen so far, in my opinion, Ruthless Goku looks ridiculous. You can legitimately one-turn kill with that build already. Yeah.
Well, funny
Yeah.
story about Ruthless Goku.
Oh, wait, Goku or Godku? Because there's a bit of a difference.
Because this I'm feeling does just the same thing as what it is literally just Godku except better.
Except I don't have the huge power level.
Yeah, but you do though. You're only missing out on one stage of damage.
I just want
Being in
to interrupt. I just want to interrupt real quickly. My lovely girlfriend has just bought me a steamed pork bun. So, winning. But yes, you are right. In essence, you are only losing one stage.
And he makes up with that for the one life. Like you're essentially Godku.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. This card. I saw this card and I was blown away. And then it only gets better from here. So speaking of, unless anyone's got any final thoughts on Goku level 1.
Seeing the image on this one, which is clearly from Goku training Gohan in the Room of Spirit and Time, I really hope Gohan has an equivalent level where he is striking the blow that Goku is recoiling from here.
That'd be cool. I've seen it a few times in different games. Pokemon, most notably, did something similar. But moving on to Goku's level 2, we have Goku Determined.
Wait, I've
Oh.
got one more thing.
Okay.
The art on it is full length of the card, and that makes me happy.
Yeah. Full art card. Yeah.
Okay,
Alright, Goku Determined.
I'm ready.
Power up of 3. Continuous effect. Your attacks deal +1 life card of damage, and your opponent's attacks deal -1 life card of damage. Power. Draw the bottom card of your discard pile. You may discard a card from your hand to use a critical damage effect. Fucking boom.
Mint.
Fucking boom. This is Piccolo, level 2. Bit better.
Mm,
I knew that might get a rise out of
Of
everybody.
course Chris would disagree.
Yep.
let's not go crazy.
Fucking 1,250,000 at max power. So he's still at E.
I'll start from the bottom and count up. We've got C, 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 D, D, E, 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 E.
Yep. Fucking boom. Like, that +1 attack and that -1 life card of damage coming back at your face. Like, how many times has -1 life cards been enough to save you from an ungodly amount of damage?
Regularly, and my favorite thing about it is, unlike on Resolute Mastery, where it's prevent this much damage, this is a permanent modifier where it will just straight up turn it off.
David Spencer in the chat saying not as good as Piccolo level 2. Man, I disagree.
I agree that it's not as good as the effect on Piccolo level 2. Like, the power is not as good as the power on Piccolo level 2. However, I feel like the modifiers on it make up for that. And
No,
the
but
power levels
remember-
on this card,
Remember, this Goku's being teamed up. He's being paired with the Blue Mastery. Like, think of the value some of these blue cards are going to have. Like, you draw the bottom card of your discard pile. If it's like a blue neck beam or some shit like that, you could just draw it and then discard it for 4 stages. Fucking Trent saying red does seem to be Goku's niche from now. Setting up your discard pile to draw what you want. I'm calling it, man. I think this level 2 surpasses Piccolo.
I think overall the card definitely surpasses Piccolo. Yes, the fact that you get outside of C at level 2 is just. I feel like it's natural. I feel like that Piccolo is stuck at C on his level 2.
Feels good.
is-
Feels right.
Nathan, can we let Dan back into the chat, please?
Yeah, sure. You guys got to stop leaving chat. You should be able to enter anyway.
I like-
Anyway.
But yeah,
What? Hang on a second. Let's let Reese have his say because he's been very quiet, patient. What were you going to say, Reese?
Thank you. I really like the flavor if you deploy him in red with sacrifice or restraints. The anger gain.
Yep.
oh wow, yeah.
he is
shit.
determined.
Yeah. What were you going to say? Sorry, Chris.
Well, I also I'm just going to point out that I like the fact that it doesn't say discard a styled card. So you could have a Dragon Ball in your hand and you discard it, it goes to the bottom, you get a crit. You could have a setup. You like, if the bottom card of your discard pile is visiting, it doesn't matter because you can just discard it and put it on the top. Like, this has got a lot of utility that maybe Piccolo level 2 doesn't have.
Yeah, David's saying I meant the usable power wasn't as good. The constant and huge power level pushes him over Piccolo, though, probably. I do like Piccolo's level 2 power and its effect, but I don't know, man. This Goku's power here, I think it's a tough race, and I'm on the side of Goku here. I'm Team Goku on that side.
And it's going to be nice to be able to blue dominance to this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Potential reprint in the starter deck.
Well, yeah.
Dominance doesn't need to reprint. It's too new to be frozen.
No, but he's talking about in the starter deck in general.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just because something's not in eligibility to be frozen doesn't mean it can't be put in a starter deck.
Yeah,
Oi.
like stare downs and compros and God knows what else. Does anyone in the chat have anything you want to say about Goku? We'll read it out. Maybe.
Well,
Does anyone here have anything to say about Goku?
No, I'm good.
Keen to use him.
Still not sure if I'm going to be on this or Krillin in the blue.
The only thing I really have to say about this is that the Goku stack as a whole seems much more geared to physical than energy.
What makes you say that? Like, his attacks are dealing +1 life. There's no differentiation there. I mean, he's level 3,
Correct,
which we're going to get
but-
to.
What I'm talking about is his it's a comparison to the Vegeta, I guess. His PUR is lower than Vegeta's on every level. I think a higher PUR is much more effective for energy beats than fizz beats. Whereas this Goku has more consistent, I guess, bracketing. Like as
Yeah.
I said before on this one,
Yeah.
he's at
Yeah, I
C
see what
for
you're
4 of them, at E for 4 of them, and D for 2 of them.
David Spencer
he's-
says, yeah, no, I agree with what you're saying. Yeah, I can see your argument there. David's saying that, honestly, it feels like this level is the reason the Masteries got frozen.
I'm interested to know what you mean there, David.
No, he's saying RIP enraged. I can see what he's
Or the
saying.
card draw.
Yeah. Nick
I
Copperbottom's
definitely
piped
feel
up
that,
saying
man.
that he's bought a
Enraged is
swab.
Beautiful.
I'll come camping with you, Nick Copperbottom.
It's going to be a
But
bad
I only
time.
get to see that copper bottom.
I also like to camp.
Well, on that note, I guess we'll go straight to Goku's level 3, where it starts to really ramp up.
Courageous.
Are you sure you don't want to start a camping vlog?
You're pretty sure. At constant power, your attacks deal +2 life cards of damage. Excuse me. Power, physical attack. Draw the top or bottom card of your discard pile. Damage, AT +2 life cards.
So it's a damage that does 80 plus 4.
In blue, it's AT +5. So even if you're doing like, for argument's sake, 0 on the AT for some reason, you're still hitting for potential critical damage. This is
And his-
fantastic.
His AT brackets from 0 up are CC, D, D, E, 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 F, F.
This also makes
He's got a lot of E.
This also makes Saiyan Destructo disc very silly.
Yeah, we'll come to that when we come to that bridge, I guess. Trent's saying, if you're not doing Goku with red, it's probably wrong. David Spencer. this guy is ridiculous in Enraged and Devious Masteries. This is true.
Nothing
It's-
wrong with him insane.
No.
I think this Goku is going to be quite fine in a lot of different styles. Red
Unleashed up to
Enraged,
4.
sorry, Red Ruthless. Yeah, kind of. I can see what you're talking about, especially given that I just said he's probably a very physical being. But I could see him in blue. I could see him in Saiyan.
Yeah, that +2 life cards of damage on all his attacks is insane. And, like, draw the top or bottom card of your discard pile. There's going to be some good times had with Goku, I think.
Which is about bloody time.
Or bad times. Or
Yeah.
bad times if you're on the opposite end of Goku.
Yeah, point of view is all relevant, I suppose.
Although I suppose it kind of fits for the flavor. Like when the first Goku came out, it was before the Frieza saga, really. So Goku was kind of getting the shit beaten out of him and staying in hospital for ages, and then getting his body stolen. Then the set 4 Goku comes out at a time where he contracts the heart virus and can't do anything. This is the first time that Goku's been completely healthy and gets to have a fight for the sake of having a fight, and is well enough at the end of it. He's not defeated. He just goes, "Nah, I'm done."
Yeah, I mean this is true too, and it's Dragon Ball Z as a card game. It's in this weird place because, excuse me, it has to conform somewhat to the anime and the manga in some way. Like contextually, everything's got to have some basis there, if you know what I mean. But it's not like Magic where fucking anything can fucking happen because, you know, they don't have anything to go off. It's just whatever the writer wants at the time.
Play for Judge says, "I love this card. Think it's good artwork. I wish they'd moved him over just slightly so his full hand was in the frame. But oh well."
Anyone else want to pipe up and chat about Goku? Nick's just flooding it with something about a swag. It's green, it's comfy, Santa, monkey. Is that a dragon? Equals topical. Yeah, well. Any of you guys want to say any final thoughts on level 3?
It's good.
Yeah.
I've got the blog open and I like the comment on it. Goku level 3, that's another raw card. Just a raw card. It's not been cooked yet. This is fresh, straight out of the ocean.
Fresh out of the life deck. Or discard pile.
See,
No.
it's coming from the discard
Fresh out
pile,
of-
so it's not
fresh
fresh,
out-
is it?
Fresh out of the discard pile.
Alright, let's move on to level 4. Goku Selfless. Power up rating of 5. Continuous continuous effect. Your attacks deal +2 life cards of damage, and your opponent's attacks deal -2 life cards of damage. Power. Search your life deck, discard pile, or banish zone, which they should now rename other discard pile, for a starved card and place it in your hand. +2 attack and hiding jewel in play at the same time. Yeah.
Is that like over brackets or no?
What are we at with CCC? Something else.
CCC TDEEFFF.
Yep.
So as we were talking about a little bit earlier, this is amazing. Goku level 4 in blue gets blue terror every turn.
A 5 life card attack.
A 5
if
life
not-
card
yeah,
blue
yeah.
terror every turn.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, Goku.
It does. It
Wow,
sort of opens up that
jeez.
option to have a deck which is just a whole bunch of like these. You've got the staple blue cards there, but then you've got a whole bunch of like one-ofs or maybe two-of tech choices that you can just go, well, fuck it, I'm gonna terror every time, and get exactly what I want.
I will say.
You know what it also gets every turn?
What's that?
Saiyan Destructo Disc.
No, it
No, it doesn't.
Oh, is that not considered style?
No.
Oh.
Chris loses.
Hand in your membership at the door.
I will say, having played the new level 3 Trunks from Awakening, that being able to recur
Awakening, you
your
mean
tech,
evolution?
Evolution, yeah.
Yeah.
Being able to recur your tech every turn is amazing.
Yeah, this card is I don't care where card X that I want is. I'm going to grab it, and you know, as I said, and as we all discussed, terror every turn to grab another card every turn. Like that screams good value, if you ask me.
The price of
Even-
Unleashed just went up 25%.
No, the price, what, as in legitimately, or you're just saying that now?
Oh, well, legit.
Yeah.
Because of Goku level 4.
Nah, the price of Unleashed goes up because of both Goku and Vegeta, but we'll cover that in a minute. Yeah, but like +2 attack, +2 life cards attack, damage, and then like having Hiding Drill attached to your MP. That's tasty by any stretch of the imagination, is it not?
Play him in orange and change his name to Android Goku. Play Hiding Drill and Android 16 and go, fuck yeah!
Like for all but the like some of the more like notable situations. This level 4 Goku is protecting you pretty comfortably from Sinister Choke.
Too true.
Unless they're also playing Goku.
Yeah, in which case, then yeah. But you know what I mean. And David, and yes, Unleashed is definitely going up in price. Yeah, Unleashed will probably triple in price. So I guess Panini's doing. I guess Panini's going to sell Vengeance boxes pretty quickly.
I like the Goku versus Goku matchup where they're both on level 4 and their modifiers are both cancelling each other out and they're just down for a good fight.
Yep. So Flavor Judge says, I like the idea of grabbing a card from the Banish Zone as well. It's sort of like Goku popping in and out of the other world to
Yeah.
do stuff.
David's just said, not specifically in regards to Unleashed going up, not specifically because of Goku Vegeta, but unless we get some good anger masteries, we really don't have amazing leveling options right now after Devious, Enraged, and Knowledge go away.
This is very true.
I mean, it's somewhat true. Like, Orange is...
Third Unleashed, Quick Smart.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get 2 more. Or at least 1. But, like, the new Orange Mastery, Retribution, gains you 2 anger. Namekian Restored gains you 2 anger. Orange has... Sorry?
Get through anger pretty quick.
Yep. Orange, as a style, has also got quite a large amount of anger. Black, several of their attacks and blocks have great, anger gains. So, like, there's still anger there to be gained to go up. So, I mean, like, Unleashed is going to go up in value because that's what always happens.
Do you want to be unleashing yourself in this new meta though? Because
it will take another Unleashed
to unleash.
I was going to say there's been so many games I've played on Octagon where someone has unleashed early just to have me unleash them back down to 1 and then me be left on 4 and absolutely own. Like, it's not a place that I personally want to be.
Well, this is we had this discussion, Chris and I can't remember if Nick and Dan were also involved in it, but it was a discussion revolving around Sphere, and I know it always comes back to Sphere. But, like, a lot of decks nowadays have been cutting Sphere down to 2, and some have been going so far as to drop it down to 1. And I'm always saying I feel comfortable at 2. If I could find the room, I would always run 3. Unleashed, I think... certainly, especially now with some of these, like if the MPs that in Awakening continue to be as strong as Goku and Vegeta, and we do, as David says, lose good anger masteries, Unleashed is only going to be like more and more playable to get up and up. So like Spear just increases in value again because you're stopping your opponent from leveling and you're also stopping them from de-leveling you. Like if anything, I think Sphere is about to go up in price. I wouldn't say skyrocket, but I think it's going to be going up.
You have said that every single set.
Jokingly for the most part.
Flavor Judge has more comments to make on this card.
Sure.
It's time to do with the artwork. Again, Goku's hand is half off the screen. Like, what the hell, Goku? Why? But
to
also,
be fair, so are his feet.
This is true. But also, this image of Goku is actually from the end of the Buu saga. This is Sayonara Buu. I hope we meet again sometime, Goku. Not anything else.
I thought they weren't legally allowed to use images outside of their certain set.
I mean, it looks like it should be the image Goku
Instant transitioning
Teleporting.
Cell
instant transitioning style, but if you look at his fingers, he's not instant transitioning.
The gi is different too.
Yep.
Some just quickly catching up with a bit of the chat. What have we got? Trent saying, "I have Vengeance for sale at your retailers." Well, funny story.
Our retailers are pretty ordinary.
David saying, "Sorry, we don't have good anger outside of Rampaging Mastery. We have a lot of anger gain cards, but we have even more anger hate cards. We're losing the big burst anger masteries at the moment." Trent saying, "Magic the Gathering has been a drain on stores for a little bit." Well, I'd argue that it's been a drain on society for a longer time. And David Spencer saying, "If you want to use Unleashed moving forward, you'll need 3 in most decks, in my opinion." So he's talking about Unleashed there, I'm pretty sure.
I just want to like say, Dave, like with the no good anger burst mastery, I think red was getting just a little bit too big for its shoes though. Like there was points where I was playing a blue deck that was built specifically to control anger decks, and the red was still outracing it.
Even though they need that extra anger to gain a level.
Yeah, and like even with 6 head knocks via decapitations and neck beams and everything like that, even went to things like villainous energy burst or whatever the ball or whatever that card's called, the one that lowers 3 anger.
Villainous energy burst or something like that.
Yeah, it's like I think red was just getting a little bit too big for its shoes. Maybe getting a little too good at what it did.
And like that's, I mean, is that not why Cell level 4 got nerfed? I mean, the cynics would say no, it was because Broly was coming out and Cell killed Broly, but I think that it's the same sort of argument, is it not? When something is becoming oppressive, someone has to step forward and do something. And freezing Red Enraged seems like a fair enough way to go about it. But anyone else want to say anything about this hell of a card?
I had something, but it wasn't that important. It's gone now.
Okay.
What card?
Goku level 4.
It's good.
It's good. Dan showing many years of wisdom and insight there. All right.
That's good.
What are you supposed to
I'm
say?
completely loving on Goku.
Now to move on.
Oh wait, I've right on the point of Unleashed. I just want to say now, I hope we get a few more MPs that are happy to sit at their early levels.
I disagree.
Have we not already been through like 5, 6 sets of that shit though?
I would argue that in the most recent 2 sets, we've had MPs that were much happier to level than they were to stay at level 1.
You should be punished for
I
staying
tend to
level 1.
agree.
You shouldn't just be able to win the game by sitting on level 1. But anyway.
No, I disagree with that. You should be able to camp at 1 and still be competitive.
Well, that's true too, I suppose.
Like, especially with a 60 card deck count, it's hard to tech in stuff to anger up and tech in stuff to compete against other decks that are doing what they want to do. If you forego, like, you're foregoing a win condition by not angering, so you should get somewhat compensated for that.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying.
You sound entitled.
Who, me or Chris?
Be a lifter, not a leaner.
Sounds like a Krillin player.
Hey.
Quickly,
Hey.
just in the chat, we've got David Spencer saying, "Funny thing is though, Red hasn't got any new anger burst cards. Well, not for Enraged at least. Enraged has always hated Energized Strike more than anything. Fuck early level MPs. Let's go back to the era of Black Krillins. Tanfusky, Reese, Vegeta. After this short commercial break, I want a game where you level up and down. It feels a lot more dynamic."
That's a shame that they got rid of Red Enraged Mastery then, I guess, Reese.
I'd just like to throw it out there that I like to live on level 3 Android 20, not level 1.
I like to live on level 3 Roshi.
Yeah. Well.
It's
All right.
obvious that the game's designed around level 3 being the best level in the game.
Oh, I don't know. Level 4 Cell's pretty solid. Now we come to perhaps what has been the most anticipated spoiler for the set, would you say? Like,
No.
well, I mean, like, yes. I mean, some are going to argue perhaps Satan has more hype. Or,
Satan!
But there are a few
Sorry, that was
characters. Yeah, there are a few characters that capture players' attentions, like the Prince. So,
I
yeah,
I will admit,
I think
despite-
mostly because of how terrible he has been beforehand.
this is probably true. So the question here is: has Panini managed to deliver a stack befitting his royal blood, or are we going to be putting Vegeta back into our train binders, never to see the light of day? And I really wish I had Hell's Bells queued up right now, because here we have Vegeta level 1. So, parenthetical text. Damage from your non-styled attacks can only be modified by this card's effect. Continuous effect. Your non-styled cards attacks deal +2 life cards of damage. Power. Energy attack costing 1 stage. Banish a card from your opponent's discard pile. Damage 1 life card. And would Nick like to take us through the stages?
Alright, we start at B, we then go to B. We continue on into C, 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 D, D, D. Poor Vegeta does not make E on his level 1.
Who the
However-
flying fuck cares?
However- His power up of 3 makes him get to D a lot faster than that filthy Half-Blood Kakarot.
Half-Blood.
Yeah, I
I'd
don't
just
know why I
like
said
to-
Half-Blood.
I'd just like to point
Flavor
out that
judges failed.
Vegeta's a scrub.
Oh, fuck yourself, Chris.
I can't wait till Chris gets wrecked by a freestyle Vegeta next set.
Oh my god, this level 1 is fan-fucking-tastic. Like, Nick and I were discussing it earlier, but, just with the entirety of Vegeta in general, but that non-styled attack, dealing +2 life cards of damage, a dev blow. Devastating blow right here. Gain Nango, lower there's 2, banish 3 cards, and deal some amount of stages plus the 2 life cards, and then
18
you...
plus 1 and 2 life.
There you go. And then, like, the 1 stage attack from this banishing a 4th card from your opponent's discard pile for 3 life cards. Fucking hell, yes. It is about goddamn time.
You know what? I had not actually thought of how this plus dev blow means you're banishing 4 from a bin every turn.
Like,
That's-
Level 1.
yeah,
That's disgusting.
pulverize. Banish some cards, gain a card, do some more damage. Fucking yes, this is the Vegeta stack that I have been waiting for. Because
I
I'll
like that. I like that it does the artwork does that thing that Vegeta sometimes does, where he has purple hair instead of black.
yes.
No, but just
I
when the
look,
light
Purple Hair
hits-
Vegeta's where it's at, mate.
what was that? Sorry.
when the light hits his head just right.
David Spencer is saying Vegeta got a really solid stack. I'm excited to play him. I wholeheartedly agree. Vegeta, like Vegeta, is my personal favorite character of Dragon Ball, the Dragon Ball Z.
It's definitely up there in my top 10, possibly my top 5.
And I've always been sort of sad. Like, you could play the set 1 starter Vegeta, and you could play the Hero Vegeta, but they weren't competitive. Trent's just said, this is kind of true to the show. Goku came out of the time chamber able to maintain Super Saiyan, which is higher power level anyway. Vegeta is just a feeble norm. Trent, get the hell out of the chat! Get the hell out, Trent!
I'd just like to point out there's something wrong with the art. It doesn't have Krillin shooting a beam through his chest because he's a scrub.
Oh, fuck off.
Um,
You'll just
Here or
hate...
not.
Yeah. Fucking, like, could there be, like, Retro was awash with people last night going absolutely insane to see Vegeta. And I'm sure there was plenty of celebratory drinks nearby, as well as a few razor blades to slit the wrists of, like, you know, people who have lost all hope of Vegeta ever being playable. And I think this certainly says, yeah, exactly right, Trent. 3rd time's the fucking charm.
I think there was a lot of people that were disappointed that he wasn't shit for a 3rd time in a row.
Yeah, but those people are what we call wrong.
I wasn't. I am one of those people. Scrub. You're right. I'm going to be the saltiest person when I sit down and get wrecked by a freestyle Vegeta deck because I just got wrecked by a scrub character.
How about that? Like, level 1 fucking Sinister Choke for 7. Get that dick up, yo.
Maybe later.
Like, seriously, choke on that. Aaron Mars drunk retro spree kick. Keck. Yeah, that was very entertaining. But yeah, like, do we need to say anything else about Vegeta? Like, he's level 1. This is a great level 1. This is a really good start for the Vegeta stack, and it only gets better.
Flavor Judge has nothing to say at this point.
I just like.
If you say he's a scrub one more time, I'm gonna come around to your house, boy, and we're going toe to toe.
He's a scrub. But like, I as much as I'm giving him shit, this is a level 1 that I could see myself playing, and even camping on.
Yep.
Like, that's how good this level 1 is.
Gotta buy a swag.
All right, we'll move on to the level 2 before it gets out of hand. Vegeta imposing level 2.
Terrible.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the artwork. 4 power up rating.
Artwork on this is the most awful artwork in the game, and there are some awful artworks.
4 power up rating.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt one more time, but is it because he went full muscle mode and we know that's the stupidest form in the fucking world?
It's because his muscles don't even look like they're in the right places right now.
I'll be honest, I think he looks like a balloon animal. You know how the balloon. Yeah. But anyway,
I am made of tubes.
Power up rating of 4. Power up rating of 4. Parenthetical text. When you reach this level during combat, your opponent can only attack or pass in his or her next action in this combat, and we'll get to that in a minute. Continuous effect. Your non-start attacks deal +1 life card of damage and cannot have their damage prevented. Power. Raise your anger 1 level. Your MP gains 3 stages. Now, first, let's get this, like, Chris, you and I discussed this earlier. His or her, on a card text, people were losing their mind.
Yeah, no one should care about that. And that's as much as I'm going to say about it.
Fucking man. Like, there's nothing ever saying this game is only for men. There's nothing saying this game can't be, is only for women or any of the spectrum there between. So
why don't people put there on it?
Well, Apache helicopters can't play. They don't have hands.
They have pilots.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But anyway, that constant effect is amazing.
Oh yeah, I didn't do the power levels.
Okay, go through the power levels.
Okay. So we got B, C, 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 D, D, E, E.
Yep.
It's a lot of C.
To be honest, I don't think this level. I think this is his weakest level. To be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, +1 life card damage to non-style attacks that can't be prevented. Like, that crushing beam's now hitting for 7. Oh, by the way, I can just go, I'll gain an anger, and, like, that attack was ostensibly free.
7 unpreventable, all banished. And the card shuffles into my deck after use.
And my power just goes, I gained an extra anger, and I didn't actually pay for that attack.
I'm just saying, in comparison to 1, 3, and 4, it's the weakest in my mind.
I don't disagree, but I also feel like if I was stuck at this level, my only problem would be having to look at that horrible artwork.
Yeah, you wouldn't care as much.
Yeah. No, I can agree. If you put it next to 1, 3, and 4, it's not as, like, in your face sort of, this is great, but, like, it has its merits.
I definitely think an Optic Blast for 7 unpreventable is pretty gross.
It's pretty fucking great, isn't it?
I think any of the freestyle attacks that you're doing off of Vegeta are pretty gross.
But, like, something that we haven't, when we were talking about this prior to this, we didn't really touch on too much, was the parenthetical text there. When you reach this level during combat, you get the effect of red restriction. For the next action.
For one action.
Yeah.
For one action, yeah.
Like,
cool.
Those, like, control decks, which are, like, not aiming to do anything really apart from play a couple of events or,
I like that Vegeta can basically end combat on your opponent.
Yeah. Yeah, against those Roshi decks that can't now activate a setup and have only got, like, blocks or setup and they just go past and you go, well, I'm getting out of this one free.
Yeah, well, we'll wait and see how many Roshi decks are actually being played with the Frozen Masteries.
We'll have Red Ruthless.
Today, Junior.
Red Ruthless, old man turtle to look forward to.
I'll be bringing back Red Ruthless Roshi.
This is something we don't need to consider until like after Nats. So
Is it after Nats?
yeah, the frozen list is effective the 1st of November.
That's
It's
cool.
a shame it's not before Nats, to be honest.
Well, I
Speaking
mean,
of-
this set's not released until after Nats anyway, so.
Yeah.
Shame it's not released before Nats.
Tamfuski in the chat says true power. If anybody would like to sell me some, that'd be great.
Yeah, mate, get out of my way because like I thought of this earlier myself. It's my trick.
You know what?
True power, go.
Owning owning like the world supply of true powers is actually going to come in handy now, isn't it?
Probably not.
It can't be modified though.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter. This attack means it can't be prevented.
I would still only use true power really at his 4th level, so it's not more than a
3rd
2
level.
in the deck.
Third. Which we'll get to right now. Level 3. Oh yeah, no, yeah, you were right.
Dude.
Yeah, duh. Power up rating of 5. When you reach parenthetical, when you reach this level during combat, your opponent must pass for his or her next action this combat. Fuck, that's going to trip me up. Continuous effect. The first time each combat one of your non-start attacks cards is stopped, it stays in play to be used a second time this combat. Your non-start attacks deal +3 life cards of damage. Motherfucking Gallic Gun.
This level Vegeta hearts you from Reese.
Yeah, it does kind of. Like, this is another very poor artwork, I think.
I don't mind it.
It's Final Flash.
Yeah, but it would be much better from the side.
Yeah,
What do we got
they
here?
couldn't
We've got
use that artwork,
CCC,
apparently.
CCC, DDD, EEEF.
Gallic fucking Gun. Gallic Gun at this level is extremely dangerous. It's hitting for 9. You can't. If it's stopped, it sits around to be used again. It gains them a couple of anger. If they crit with, you can't prevent the damage, and if you crit with it, you crit twice.
It's kind of ironic that Gallic Gun is so dangerous on that level when he's doing Final Flash.
It kind of is. Yeah, I like this level. I really do.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
The forced pass, which we discussed on his level 2, is very strong.
Anyone who gets to force a pass gets a very strong advantage out of that. We only need to look at Yamcha to know how good a forced pass can be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, it wins you the game instantly against Millsy.
This is true.
Sorry, Millsy.
I'm not.
Why isn't he on?
Yeah, I haven't heard him all day. But yeah, very strong level. I don't know if there's much else we can say about it.
I've got something to say about it.
Yeah, go on.
Vegeta's scrub.
Fuck yourself.
That's just some low-level criticism there, Chris.
Yeah, man,
Step
you're
up your game.
Chris, you can
lowest
do
hanging
better than
fruit.
that.
Lowest hanging fruit. Reese is saying trick with rampaging. Lead with Gallic Gun, they stop it, and then use it a second. Use it again, level, and the second is unstoppable. 2, yeah, actually that's kind of funny.
Hey, we might actually get some use out of Vegeta's anger now that we need attached cards for Vegeta.
For Unleashed, yeah. We'll head across to level 4 now. Vegeta, the pinnacle of power. Power up of 6. When you reach this level during combat, your opponent must pass for their next action this combat. Continuous effect. Your non-start attacks cannot be stopped and deal +3 life cards of damage. Oh, lordy.
I'm going to steal the flavor judge here and say the artwork here is fantastic.
It's
Oh, yeah.
much better.
Man, like,
you just win the game.
yeah, you lead with fucking true power, and you follow up with Gallic Gun, and then continue from there.
Choke for 8 that can't be stopped.
Oh. At that
So
point, you
I
don't even care if they can prevent it.
I was thinking
can't.
about it earlier. What I would like to see is an attached card that makes your 4th level's power level count as less than 500,000, so he can use pesky.
That's disgusting.
That would be fucking horribly good.
Heroes only, so 16 can use it and actually get something out of it.
That would be
I'd love it.
disgustingly good.
I would love it.
Panini ideas like that.
I don't think Panini is listening, but if they were, they would only benefit from making this.
That's fucking horrible, and I love it.
He's still in C at level 4.
Who the fuck cares?
What if he gets hit by Broly?
Oh,
Who the
no.
fuck cares?
CCDDD. Oh no,
You better have a block
CCDD.
then, I guess.
FF.
You know what you do?
Get good, scrub.
Just like Vegeta should.
Oh, I'm gonna.
Oh!
Your comedy fucking gold. Just like your cock, because it's a cock but smaller.
Is there much else to be said about? Like, I feel like we talked a lot about Goku, whereas Vegeta, it's just a straight up, yeah, this is really good.
This is the thing, though. Like, he doesn't do anything tricky. What we're seeing on card is what we're getting, right? Like, there's no. Was this your card? I have something in my sleeve. It's all very straightforward. I'm gonna basically do what Broly does, but I think better.
Do you know what Vegeta has in his sleeve?
Oh, I swear to God.
Well, I was just going to say like a Sinister Choke for 10, but you know.
He doesn't have sleeves.
Well, he doesn't need them.
He has it in the cuff of his glove. Anyway,
David's saying the thing I like most about Vegeta is he already has a counter for most styles. They're cards that turn off freestyle cards. Yeah, this is true. Like, those sorts of things will keep Vegeta in check, but like the entire deck's not just going to be freestyle attack, freestyle attack, freestyle attack, freestyle attack, freestyle attack, freestyle attack.
Well, you
Well,
can run
you're-
him in black to scout or search out those counters and just get rid of them, and so you can freestyle attack at abandon.
I saw two things earlier today that made me cackle talking about this level. People, first of all, were saying that you should run Android Defensive Burst in this, or Defensive Blast, whatever it is, in a Vegeta deck, which I think is the stupidest thing ever, because as a secondary, it turns off the secondaries of all other
Freestyles.
non-styled,
Yep.
freestyled cards. I said, that's fucking dumb. The other one is people saying, surprise attack will be good for taking down Vegeta then. And my argument against that is Vegeta's probably going to be running it. It's
Probably.
it's a 7 life card attack that strips the opponent's deck of 2 fantastic cards. And when your deck is mostly good freestyle attacks, what are they going to take from you? They're going to struggle to think, what am I going to take from you? Sure, you might take my Gylett Gun and maybe my time. I still have so many other fantastic cards coming into your face right now.
Trent just says, my deck is going to be all styled and surprise attack. Do you want to know, like, the funny thing is here, though? Like, which, like, hero allies who have attacks? What have we got?
Tien, Chiaotzu, Yamcha, Icarus, and that is all so far, I think.
Suddenly they all get a +3 life card boost and can't be stopped.
Yep.
And a lot of those attacks have lots of nice,
Effects.
juicy effects.
Yeah.
Drawing cards.
Like, it's weird to see, like, Vegeta the Loner suddenly having some interesting synergy with a few allies. But, yeah,
Can't wait to run Yamcha in my Vegeta deck.
we'll fact check.
I like that the shadow on this artwork highlights Vegeta's bulge. It's nice. Good stuff.
Yeah, Vegeta's very straightforward. He does what he does. Yeah, like, is there anything else we can really say about it?
Not really. He's good.
Aside from now reaching what can only be described, So we've seen the Masteries, we've seen the MPs, and now we get to the first Ultra Rare, what I can only describe as the second coming of Destructo Disc. Assisted Kamehameha.
Tell you what, though, just briefly, I am going to alter the artwork on all of the Vegeta level 3s I get, so he's holding a love heart. That's
And he's got a moustache.
yeah.
that would be Chris's
Okay.
altar. Alright, assisted
Assisted
Kamehameha.
Kamehameha.
Ultra Rare, in case there was any doubt. Energy attack costing 2 stages. If your MP is a Saiyan, this attack cannot be stopped and its damage cannot be prevented. Damage for life cards. Banish after use.
Reese was upset about this.
The Kamehameha is not flat enough and not round enough.
What?
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
It's a disc, you dickheads.
I don't get it.
It's Destructo Disc, but like infinitely better.
No, it's not. It's not even as good.
It's much better.
It's banished after use, and it's Saiyans only.
Yeah, which opens it up to being played in how many more decks?
Goku.
Goku, Vegeta,
Raditz.
Saiyan, Gohan, Trunks,
No,
Raditz, Nappa, Turles,
if you-
Broly,
If you
Cell.
had
Cell.
If you had assisted Kamehameha and Destructo Disc side by side, Destructo Disc wasn't named. Destructo Disc is the better card.
But Destructo Disc is
But
named.
the problem is Destructo Disc is named.
Well, you probably should be playing Krillin anyway.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't really like the card.
What?
It's like, honestly, it strikes me as a vanilla 4-life 2-stage attack that's an ultra rare.
Yep. I agree
Oh,
with
you
Chris.
guys are on crack.
I hate it because it's not called the Father Son Kamehameha.
Flavor Judge agrees with Reese. Should be called the Father Son Kamehameha.
That'd be hard to put on a card, though. Like, already assisted Kamehameha is taking up the whole text box.
Flavor Judge says, "Fuck off, Chris."
You guys are all missing the point. This card is fantastic. The only downside I have
This
is
card
it's an
is
ultra
very
rare.
Fantastic.
It doesn't do anything, it just hits the damage.
But neither does Destructo Disc.
It does exactly what Destructo Disc does, except it banishes after use. Like, there's not much more to that.
Sure, Destructo Disc doesn't banish. Destructo Disc probably should banish after use.
Let's not go crazy.
To be honest, I wouldn't be running this if I was a Saiyan.
You're on crack.
Maybe if I was playing a energy beat Saiyan, then yeah, I would run it. But
I mean, like,
Vegeta?
if I was running Vegeta, I'd run it, sure.
I think Vegeta definitely runs it every day.
oh,
of the week.
David Spencer. Okay, knowledge bomb for you guys. Restored Cell running Heritage Drill plus Ball 1 equals Kamehameha for 9 life, unblockable, unpreventable.
Woo!
Well, yeah, Saiyan level 4. I mean, Cell level 4, sure, that's a good point.
That's just Cell in Restored running Heritage.
Trent has brought up the
On the
point
before.
that
yeah.
one thing that'll be interesting to see, Namek DBs will be eligible for Frozen List if they don't get a reprint. So yeah, Earth DBs for all. I
Earth DB
actually said this earlier, Trent. To
No.
Yes.
Even no. DBs aren't eligible for Frozen List. They got a reprint in set 4.
only
DBs
one of them did.
Yeah, DB6 got it. Yeah, but they're not going to leave one Dragon Ball in the fucking game.
I hope
That's
they
a
do.
mastery, though.
Oh, I would cut you, Dan. There's no. I don't see them freezing the Dragon Balls. Like,
To be honest, I don't see them freezing almost any other card. I think the masteries will be it.
Oh yeah, I can see them freezing things like oh wait, no, they said that they couldn't do it on an emergency ban sort of thing either, did they? They said it had to be in the game for 2 years.
I'll
Yeah.
freeze you.
So it's like they're not even really getting rid of problem cards until they've been a problem for too long.
Destructo Disc. Command. Howard.
They could freeze Frieza and put him on ice.
Oh, I'm gonna mute you.
He's already terrible.
Nick's off the team, I swear.
Yeah, no, I don't see them freezing the Namekian Dragon Balls. David's like, there's no way they freeze Namekian balls. It's because Namekians don't have balls, David.
It's gonna make them hard for Zarbon to hold.
Wow.
But dragons are weak to ice type.
Oh my god. But seriously, like they could freeze the Dragon Balls. I don't see it. Like that would sort of Optic Blast then becomes this weird card. I kind of like the idea that Optic Blast, if you run that in a deck, when the Earth Dragon Balls comes out and you come against like either deck, freeze that bastard card hybrid defense. It's not that bad.
Or just run Spear.
Come on now,
Yeah.
Trent. Let's not go hasty here.
We've had our freeze list discussion.
We have.
But yeah, fuck that. We need more hybrid defenses.
You know who they need
yeah.
to freeze though? People who play Broly.
Why is that?
Just because I don't like playing against that deck.
Then I think you, by the sounds of it, need to what was it? Get good.
Get good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't argue with that.
David Spencer, I see them freezing time before they freeze the Namekian DBs. Yeah, I can think that's probably.
Time will
don't-
never be frozen.
I was going to say, I don't think you'll ever see time get frozen.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think that's what David's saying too.
Yeah.
Freezing time would be weird. But yeah, assisted Kamehameha. So it's divided the team between the good players and the shitty people who think it's crap.
We'll see how that goes when you assisted Kamehameha and then I Destructo Disc you.
And then I go enhanced reflexes.
You know what would make assisted Kamehameha way better? If it
You-
couldn't be modified by your opponents.
Yeah, that'd be good. I'd accept that on an ultra rare.
I mean, like, I agree. That I don't think it's an ultra rare slot, but
Guys, I disagree. I think given the quality of ultra rares that we've seen, cough, heroic dashing punch, cough, true power, this is perfectly powerful enough to be counted as an ultra rare.
You just
Okay, that's
you,
a good point.
you just hear Garlic level 4 asking for you to say this can't be modified by your opponent's effects.
No one runs garlic.
Man,
Are you
heroic
kidding me?
dashing punch
I-
has not hit its stride yet. It will get
I-
use.
Dashing
I
Punch
will
is going to see
use
stride
this
for
card.
fucking Vegeta.
I
Yeah.
will use assisted Kamehameha against level 4 Garlic Jr. and go, suck it.
That's what you get for running garlic, I guess.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Vegeta's at level 4, Garlic's at level 4, going, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck.
About to get my ass pounded.
here's a +6 on everything.
David's like, I'm going to sell Star your Destructo Disc with restored cell for 9 life cards and then follow up with Assisted Kamehameha for 9 life. Get wrecked!
That's right, Chris. Can sell cell style assisted Kamehameha? No, but he can steal your Destructo Disc.
What?
Sell,
Oh yeah. That's if I don't sphere your cell style. Like
yeah,
everything's got
they're
counter.
at level 4. They've got Spear in hand all the time. You know that. You know better than that.
If your argument for a card being bad is that it can be sphered,
You're going to have a
you
bad
need to be
time.
good.
I missed the part where I said Cell Star was a bad card, but yeah, everything's got a counter.
This is true.
It's easy enough to say that you're just going to take it, but you've got to actually get there.
Yeah. Yeah, I like this card. I really like this card. Not a huge fan of the fact that it's an ultra rare. But what do? What do you guys see? Like, given it's an ultra rare, and given its effect and how many different decks it can be played in, what do you reckon this thing's going to retail for? Where do you reckon this is going to? Yeah,
$40.
yeah. I was thinking about the $40 and $50 mark.
I think 40 is
About the same price as Surprise Attack, to be honest.
yeah,
Any?
but David Spencer, I have a Super Sphere, which is even better than a World Sphere. So
I have a Trunks' Energy Sphere.
I have 3 of them.
You know what? Like the Sphere talk, I wouldn't mind a non-foil Sphere.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not a
better-
fan of the World Sphere's artwork as much as I would love to actually own one.
You're just jealous.
No, not really. Like,
So, with
I'm,
assisted,
I'm more jealous that I didn't get to go to Worlds. Like, that's
Yeah, we were actually discussing this the other day, weren't we? Going out to America and shooting some guns.
Oh,
Got way too excited for that. But yeah, with Assisted Kamehameha, that ends the list of spoilers that were given from Panini today. I sort of honestly think that if the rest of the set continues the trend of what we've been treated to today, that Awakening could shape up quite nicely. I think we're starting to see good design choices, and I kind of hope that it continues. Do you guys agree? Disagree?
I am quite fine if it stops following this amazing trend, as long as it just keeps going for next week and that's it.
David Spencer saying $40-$60 for Kamehameha, jumping to 80 plus when someone wins Worlds with it. Probably true. Trent, Panini were pumped for making URs like Heroic Assistance and Villainous Empowerment. Broken URs are good for business. They kind of do get a little bit of shit, but like Heroic Assistance has come good with Roshi.
Heroic Assistance is one of my favorite cards.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's bonkers in Roshi.
And like Villainous
And what are you
Empowerment's
talking
really
about,
not
Trent?
good.
Villainous Empowerment has fans. Panini's blog said so.
I play Villainous Empowerment.
Yeah.
But that's you, Reese. You are a special kind of special.
You also are going to play Vegeta, but that's none of my business.
That's because Reese has made a good life choice. Yeah. So yeah, does anyone in the chat? We're going to throw open the episode for chat. Anyone have any insightful comments to make, or anything they want to have read out?
I don't know about insightful.
Whoa. Do you guys have anything you want to go back over? Anything?
No, I think this has been like. I'm just going to comment on the structure that we've gone through tonight, because before we did the stream, we actually all sat down and discussed how we were going to do this. I think it's worked out a lot better.
Yeah, it's been a couple of hours, so I think it's been good. I will say that for anyone listening now, at the end of the stream, I will be going through the video and just putting time marks in for the relevant points. So if they want to show someone else the video, or they want to skip back to a specific part, they can just find that easily. What are they talking about now?
Talking about MPs not being on the frozen list. I also like it.
Not MPs, personalities. Then personalities.
Not yet.
Means allies.
Allies can't ever be frozen.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, they specifically use the word personalities.
That's
Trent,
very cool.
Trent apparently is wishlisting a new orange garlic DBV.
Yeah, right.
David saying.
My God. So garlic level 1, new orange. Garlic's power gain an anger. Mastery power gain 2 anger. Level up. You've leveled up. Go search for a drill.
Yeah.
Cool.
Then get raped by Vegeta.
Rickety rock.
just never go to level 4.
Dig. Fuck. David saying that I was hoping they would freeze style cards and leave the masteries alone too. Yeah,
I agree with that.
But like
at just freeze the masteries and leave all the other cards alone.
Yeah, I mean, like one breeds innovation and new choices in the game. The other sort of they both sort of do the same thing, but one of them does more than the other.
Oh, that's done.
Can I jump in for a moment here?
No.
Yeah.
Go on, Reese.
I feel like with all the high-powered modifiers that we've seen on Goku and Vegeta, that people would like automatically divert to Black Devious or say Enraged to just boost themselves up so quick. You definitely see people just automatically playing those masteries with the new the new freeze list. It'll force people to play all the new ones, come up with better ideas, etc.
I agree, Reese, and I appreciate
Well,
that you're playing devil's advocate to the freeze list. You're offering some very good points.
I keep getting accused of playing devil's advocate way too much, so I'm glad someone else has done it.
Yeah, but you were advocating for them to not change Cells Level 4.
Yes, I was.
the wo-
Look at all the stuff that got released in fucking Perfection Vengeance, sorry, that like just curtailed what Cell was doing at level 4 anyway. David Spencer says, I am on the fence about Masteries being frozen though. I think it'll end up being good for the game. Yeah, look, I think ultimately that is probably true. And Panini is a company, so they're not going to do anything. Well, you know, a smart company or a company who cares about their product isn't going to deliberately go and tank their game. So I think
Go
on, Chris.
All right, I was going to say, I think I would have rather have seen the Black Mastery because, like, let's be honest, the reason they're freezing this is because of the Black Mastery being so dominant. Even though it hasn't been getting played lately, but that's only because Anger's good against Black.
David apparently does not agree with my opinion on level 4 needing to be changed.
It's because no one else aside from you and all the others said, oh, Cell's fine. And even some of the Cell players said, no, fuck, this is stupid.
No, look, I'm not saying
playing it.
I'm not saying I didn't understand why it was done, but like you look at Vengeance and you go, well, that stops that. That stops that. There's a whole lot of things that stop all the fucking shit that Cell was trying to do.
But yeah, like I think I would have much rather seen a Black.
I feel like
Black
we would have
Devious
got
Errata.
into a situation though. Sorry, Chris. I feel like we would have gotten into a situation where there would have been more cards needed in the deck that were pretty much staples, just to stop that auto leveling.
It's the auto D level from level 4.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like if
Cell was not a balanced guy.
Look, I'm not saying he was per se. I'm just saying there was a lot of stuff there was a lot of tech and cards printed in Vengeance, which, from my perspective, looking on it, go, okay, we've printed Cell, whose level 4 is really good. Now we're going to print a few answers, and you know that will bring him back into line. I just think he was perhaps like the squeaky wheel, as it were, got the oil to the detriment. And then like you got to look at like people started bitching about fucking Android 13's level 3 on a very similar level to the amount of bitching that was done about Cell's level 4.
Yeah, well, I think one of the big parts is that people will just bitch. People will always bitch.
Oh yeah, that's a given.
Something you just need to accept.
But Chris, you were saying.
Anymore?
Sorry, Chris,
Yeah.
you were saying you thought Black Mastery should have gotten a errata rather than
Yeah, I think
effectively a
if you just-
ban.
Yeah, I think if you just errated the Black Mastery, all would have been fine. And as the people who know me from Magic, I am an eternal player. Not I don't play standard. It's absolutely disgusting that they have to pay for cards every few months, and that is I don't want to see that game ever get to that point.
This game.
Yeah, like I still play my dual lands that were released 24 years ago. And I want to be able to do that in this game, just like I do with my scorecards from the old game.
Yeah. No, I think I think the freeze list is, in my own opinion, it's like halfway between a rotation, halfway between like a ban list. It's this weird amalgamation of the two that goes, you can't play it now, but trust us, they'll come back.
Yeah, like if I could get some sort of guarantee that they would be back, I'm fine with that because you know it does say do something different for a while. I just don't want to have those cards sit there and just be like, well, that's useless forever now, sort of thing.
Yep.
Yeah, Grant, you're on the inside. You send us a picture of the reprint masteries so that we can calm Chris down. He's actually about to jump out of his cage and murder us all.
I don't know about you guys, but I lock my house up at night, so you know.
That doesn't matter.
Aww.
Do we have anything more to say about these spoilers for today?
I hadn't had anything planned. I think that all that's left to say on the spoiler front is that we plan on doing a new sort of like a weekly roundup of all the spoilers each Saturday night. I think this has been a bit of fun.
Every Saturday night. And
Um,
oh boy, just wait for next week because I will be having such a fun time, or I will be entirely crushed. One of the two. It'll be one of the two extremes because the champ is here.
Oi, oi. Blue Krill and Master Race.
we already went through that earlier. But yeah, like we are planning to do a weekly roundup of the spoilers, and you know, go on Facebook, YouTube for the couple of hours like we have tonight and have a chat. If you want to join us with that, feel free to hit subscribe and like us on our Facebook page to keep up to date, and we'll keep everybody posted. If I think we're also looking to possibly in the future get some people on to talk. So we'll have to. If you have anything you'd like to say insightfully on stream, let us know, and we
Thank
shall
you for
judge your
sticking
worth.
with us for the 2 hours that you have. We of course appreciate it.
Yeah,
You guys are
absolutely.
champs.
Yeah, so yeah, if you've tuned in and sat down for the whole thing, thank you very much. If you've just come in for bits and pieces every now and then, that's also very handy for us. But
Yeah, we've got 8 people currently watching, and like I think that's more than I could have ever hoped for.
It's a record.
yeah, if we can translate some of that into subscribers, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, nudge.
We need to transfer those watches into a Send My Mustache to Worlds fund.
Open up a Patreon to shut Chris up. For just
Hey kids, make sure you like and subscribe.
what's this for? What did you miss, David? I just go back and check the feed.
Dan's locked himself out of the stream again.
Oh well, Dan
Why
is
does
like,
he- Why does he do that?
I don't know. What did you miss, Dave? We'll catch you up.
All right. I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to call it quits. Bye.
We wrapping it up.
Yeah,
I
that's-
actually have work in like 3 hours.
Chris,
Oh, you
get
go
to
to
bed.
yeah, I've got to have dinner and spend some time with the girlfriend. About questions or guests or something. Yeah, Dave, what I was saying is we have been discussing getting on to the stream other people from around the country and whatnot. So, get in touch with us if you feel like you got something you want to say on air.
Also, David, I'd like my games 2 and 3 on Octagon.
We have a long delay on your chat. Yeah, I discussed this with the boys earlier when we were in the break. So if you don't know how it works, I talk, the boys talk, we all talk, and then it gets captured by the streaming software, gets uploaded, which again the amount of time depending upon your internet connection, goes to YouTube servers. YouTube servers do what they do with it, and then finally gets sent out to you guys. So there is naturally a bit of a delay. I could select the optimize for interaction option, which is a low latency setting, which would mean there'd be less of a delay. But it's always been my opinion, and something I think the boys are also very much cognizant of, is that we should optimize the stream for less viewer buffering, because there's nothing worse than if you've ever seen those NBN ads from Telstra, you'll understand.
And Trent, I assure you that if there was a podcast with me and Jono on it, I would talk over Jono a lot more than he'd talk over me. So what I do?
Yeah, I mean that's
Oh,
probably.
shut up, Nathan. No
Oh,
one wants to hear what
fuck
you're saying.
yourself.
It's my turn.
I can just mute you. I can just mute you. So like, yeah, we aren't in the same building, so it makes it hard. And now I've just muted Nick so he can suck it for a minute.
Save us all. The power's going to his head.
But yeah, no, again, thank you very much for tuning in. If you like what we're doing, as we said, hit subscribe, give us a like on Facebook. Feel free to leave any comments or thoughts or suggestions in the description below or on our Facebook page. And we'll catch you guys next time. Thank you very much. Team Visiting for Time, out!
Bye.
Bye.
Good evening.